Rumors are going around that LeBron James is leaving the NBA because of an argument behind closed doors that we will reveal in this video. Keep watching to find out why LeBron James is leaving the NBA. LeBron's history and net worth. LeBron Raymond James skipped college and was drafted as the first overall pick in the 2003 NBA draft by his hometown team, the Cleveland Cavaliers. LeBron was a member of the Cleveland Cavaliers from 2003 to 2010. He then took his talents to Miami, where he played for the Heat from 2010 to 2014, leading the Miami Heat to 2 NBA titles in 2012 and 2013. In 2014, LeBron returned to his hometown team, the Cleveland Cavaliers, where he stayed 4 years from 2014 to 2018, leading the team to a championship in the 2015 to 2016 season. After his second run with the Cleveland Cavaliers, LeBron joined the Los Angeles Lakers in 2018, and in 2020, he won a championship with LA. During his 18-year career, LeBron has earned more than $1 billion, including nearly $400 million in salary and more than $600 million in off-court income. In endorsements, he earns more than $50 million per year and has a $1 billion lifetime contract with Nike. He's turned his celebrity and fortune into a veritable business empire, investing in a number of startups. He also owns a stake in Liverpool FC. LeBron signed a 4-year, $154 million contract with the Lakers in July of last year, embarking on a journey that has been arguably the most frustrating of his NBA career. In his first season with the Lakers, the franchise had a record of 37-45 and missed the playoffs for the 6th consecutive season, LeBron's first since 2004 to 2005. He also experienced the most extended injury absence of his career after straining his groin on Christmas of 2018. The primary goal of the Los Angeles Lakers offseason in 2021 was to sign a third star. Following internal discussions about the laceration, they chose the most viable transfer route after considering other routes, such as Chris Paul. Russell Westbrook was selected, and the All-Star arrives in Hollywood for a 2-season term with LeBron James and Anthony Davis.
James enters his last 2 years of high school as the top prospect in the nation.
I don't want nobody to pass me. I mean, they say I'm the best player in the country, and I wanted to keep it that way for the next 2 years.
Why does LeBron want to leave the Lakers? Since the heartbreaking first-round exit of the Los Angeles Lakers in last year's playoffs, there's been speculation about LeBron James's future. 36-year-old James, now in his 18th season, has been the only player left on the team capable of leading the team to a series victory, with Anthony Davis going on and off with injuries. The supporting cast was largely ineffective, and the spotlight has now shifted to the front office of the Los Angeles Lakers and their decision-making abilities. The most popular speculation about our star is that LeBron will end his career as a member of the Purple and Gold. Lakers GM Rob Pelinka did not retain any major players from the 2020 championship run, and surrounding LeBron James with elite talent should have been his top priority. This was what the Lakers had in mind when they got Russell Westbrook in a blockbuster trade that saw the Lakers part ways with 3 key rotation players, including 2 holdovers from the 2020 championship team, in Kyle Kuzma, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, and Montrezl Harrell. The franchise took the risk of securing Westbrook.
Skip, I think Westbrook is still playing at a very, very high level.
Yep.
But I believe there are better fits for what the Lakers need. Now, I don't believe these guys are better. Lonzo Ball, Mike Conley, Kyle Lowry, Malcolm Brogdon. I don't believe these guys are better than Russ.
What the future holds. In the 2020 offseason, LeBron agreed to a 2-year, $85 million contract extension with the Los Angeles Lakers. He'll earn $41.1 million next season and $44.4 million the following year. At the end of his contract, he has no team or player options. As a result, he is contractually obligated to stay with the team until the end of the 2022-2023 NBA season, after which he will become an unrestricted free agent at the age of 38 in 2023. If the front office is unable to provide LeBron with a championship roster, he may decide to leave the Lakers. After all, he's one of the most tenacious players in the league. Even at 36, LeBron plays like a 28-year-old, carrying a team on his back and averaging stellar numbers. He would not want to waste his time on a team that is not prepared to compete for a championship. The Los Angeles Lakers are centered on LeBron James. He is the primary reason Anthony Davis was signed to the team, and he intends to lead the franchise back to where it belongs, the championship. When James left the Cavaliers in the offseason of 2018, there was speculation that he wanted to play for the New York Knicks at Madison Square Garden. If hypothetically, James decides to leave for any team in the Eastern Conference, that's probably where he would go.
So I'm definitely not halfway in my career. I'm on the other side of the hill. So we'll see where the game takes me. We'll see where my body takes me and my mind. As long as my mind stays fresh and my body just, stays with that, I can play the game. But
separating facts from fiction. No matter what it seems, it is unlikely that LeBron will leave the third franchise in which he has settled. He owns a home in Los Angeles where his family lives and has appeared in several Hollywood films, including Road Trippin' and The Shop Uninterrupted. LeBron recently starred in Space Jam 2 and has a number of other California investments. LeBron James recently appears to have found a home in Los Angeles, and the only other franchise he might consider leaving is in his hometown, the Cleveland Cavaliers. "I truly hope that I can finish my career with the Lakers," James said. "However many years that is, if it's 4, 5, 6, whatever, 7, I hope I can continue to play the game. I love being in LA. My family loves being in LA. Being with a historical franchise like the Lakers is something. It's like me being in Space Jam. I never thought it would be possible. You think about Kareem and Magic and Wilt and Jerry West and Elgin Baylor, Kobe, Shaq, and all of them, the list goes on." Stephen A. Smith, a well-known NBA analyst, appeared on the KJZ show and discussed whether LeBron James would consider moving to a new city. Keyshawn Johnson asked Smith if James would finish his career as a Laker and if this is his final team. To which Smith replied, "Yes, I think so. I believe the only place he would return to is Cleveland, which I doubt will happen. I believe this is it, especially now that Anthony Davis has signed there. LeBron has a lot to do with Anthony Davis being here. That's the guy Clutch Sports was looking for. We know they're championship caliber when they're healthy." The only other possibility that has been raised is that his son Bronny is drafted by a different organization and decides to join him there. LeBron James has stated numerous times that he will retire once his son enters the NBA and may want to play with him on the same team. All that will change if the Lakers fix their problems. The defense is still a major issue for the team, and it is just one of many. In terms of points allowed per game, this year's team is third to last. Keep in mind that the 2019-2020 Lakers team finished fourth in the league, while the previous year's team finished second. The Lakers will not compete for a championship in the 2021-2022 season. They may go through some stretches where they appear to be a competent team and demonstrate some of their potential, the potential that made them one of the preseason favorites to win the championship. However, turnovers and defense have been the team's biggest issues thus far. The Lakers have the second most turnovers in the NBA, with 16.6 per game, and Westbrook and James have a combined 8.7. LA also allows 113.4 points per game, which is second to last in the NBA, and they allow the opponents to pull down 47.5 rebounds per game, which is tied for fourth most in the NBA. "It's never, oh, we got 65 games left," James said. "We damn sure need to play better, no matter who is in the lineup. We have our system and we need to fast track it and get better with it so we can play. No matter who is out on the floor, we can play at a high level. There's no level of panic, but there should be some sense of urgency anytime we take the floor." Regardless of what people think, LeBron believes he feels good enough to play and that his injury streak is over. He also stated one time that the Lakers will improve. That sounds like commitment, and at least Lakers fans can take a deep breath now. In truth, the quality of LeBron's play doesn't really reflect his injury spree and squad problems. He's played so well in the little time that he had that he was thought to be in the lead for MVP at one point in the season. He failed to play in 60 games for the first time in his career 2 seasons ago. This year, he made a career-low 45 appearances. LeBron is the reason the Lakers entered the 2021-2022 season as the favorites to come out of the Western Conference. Chemistry issues aside, the Lakers will be a formidable team in the postseason if they can manage to make it to the playoffs with a healthy LeBron. But if his increasingly frequent bouts with the injury bug have him considering retirement, he's more concerned with the timing of it than the seasons remaining before he does. He believes he has another half-decade or so ahead of him, which he would prefer to spend with the purple and gold. He'll be 38 when he becomes a free agent in 2023, and where aging stars want to play is heavily influenced by their quality of life. While it is unknown all that happened behind closed doors, sources are saying that given how rarely LeBron makes secret moves, this could be a sign that he wants to leave the NBA entirely. If you like this video, go ahead and watch our other video about why NBA players are scared of LeBron James.